want to ask you a question. If you believe that you have a purpose and that you're put on this earth to do something, I have that feeling. I've always had that feeling. And my first, discovery of that feeling was when I did the Shakespeare Festival in college. Because I was solving a problem. There was no professional theater, and I was an actor, and I wanted to have professional theater, and there wasn't any. And then I had this idea for World Arts Festival, where I wanted to basically produce an Olympic festival for the arts, to bring joy and humanity. And that's what I actually spent a lot of my college work doing, was dreaming up this arts festival. And it's funny because last year, after spending 2 years on designing an architecture for launching companies, I decided to kind of walk away, kind of going into the wilderness, leaving everything, left my team, left everyone. They believed in me, but I knew I needed to walk away. And something I've learned is to follow my instincts. That's the one thing we have, is those instincts. Because in my metaphysics, my instincts are connected to everything. In metaphysics, if you don't know what metaphysics is your personal paradigm of your belief structure. And mine is something I created called distributive unconsciousness, which you can read on your Facebook page or read my writings on it, distributive unconsciousness, which basically says that there's a massive information exchange that permeates everything instantaneously at all times. And we've detected this data stream in supersymmetry and quantum teleportation via quantum mechanics physics. So I believe that the earth is hurting, that life is hurting, that the planet is basically in pain, and there are us who are keenly aware of this. I'm one of them, and I know there's others out there, right? And yet our voices have been faded out by the white noise of the media and of sports and television. And we could think of the big, the spectacles, right? The spectacles of Rome and everything else. We used to have the games of Rome. Well, those games have been transformed now into something we call television, reality TV, and all this other stuff. And the world has become captive and hostage by a few stakeholders, and who ultimately really just care about themselves. And they don't give a shit about the world. They don't give a shit, as long as they get toys and they can live a life in high and pursuit of every whim and desire, any selfish need that they want. So I believe that, destiny works in a funny, mysterious ways, and that basically today I had found the person I've been looking for 20 years, someone who raising money is simple, and someone that has the same frame of mind as I do. And it's funny because he goes, the difficult thing is coming up with the widget. And I said, no, that to me is the easy thing. To me, the difficult thing is getting the money. And he laughed, chuckled. I said, well, we complement each other. You don't have a problem in bringing the money, and I don't have a problem in designing. And this is just one of many innovations that I have on my workbench. I told him really what I'm looking for. Think of me as that mad scientist, or that, I'm looking for a lab and a team to direct my team to invent and bring about the innovations. I'm not a chemist or a physicist, but, my innovations are basically paradigms, or new paradigms. I look at the world as something to mold and change, and I believe my specialty is seeing these paradigms and breaking them down, finding their weak point, and breaking them. The problem is, it takes significant capital and to do what I want to do. So I've moved from one to another. Okay, I've solved the education one. In my mind, I've solved it. I just need to build what it is. I spent years researching. It's called the E-Singularity Platform. I then went to the startup. I looked at the startup, figured out what's wrong with it, and I fixed it. And that is with the OSI platform. Now, it's not built, but it isn't here. The way it works in here, the way it will work out there. Just as my Shakespeare Festival is in here, and it was able to be translated, and it worked exactly as I envisioned, actually bigger than I envisioned. And now, I stumbled on permaculture. And permaculture actually is probably the most important of all innovations, because it actually is the way to save the planet. And had any of my previous, startups succeeded, I wouldn't have found the most important one. And it's funny, because if you would have asked me last year what's the most important innovation to change the world, transform the world, and if you listen to my talks, I say it. I think the open startup can do tremendous good. It will lessen the fall, but it won't save the planet. It's not going to save, I doubt. And if you watch my talks, you'll hear me say that. Well, I know the permaculture revolution will save the planet. It is the missing widget of the puzzle. So I have environmental, I have innovation, and I have education. I don't know what else I can do. Where am I going to go from here? Well, the beautiful thing is, where I go from here is execution. And that's why I'm walking to school, because I just got off a meeting and found a soulmate, a financial soulmate, and I just know this is the right guy. I just know. It's like when you meet that soulmate of yours and you look at them and you know this is the woman you're supposed to be with. It's like listening to them talk, I just felt like, it's meant to be. And he said that, things happen when they're meant to be. And we were meant to meet up now and have this conversation, and work together to bring about a solution to save our planet, or solutions to save our planet. So, I wanted to share that. Today, I'm walking to school. But I don't feel, this funny thing is that I just feel this incredible calm and relaxed. It's like a big weight off my shoulder. It's not like, oh, I gotta get funding, whoa! It's like that's not there. It's a sense of bliss, a sense of tranquility that I feel right now, groundedness, and, sharing with DU, acknowledging her, everything, and I'm a soldier for her, for this planet, and ultimately we're going to win this battle.